up, you guys? We have reached another episode of 15 Minutes at the Red Dot, part of the Red Dot series. It is your girl, Miss Kayla O'Shea, and I'm here with the beautiful, the talented Miss Vanessa.
Hello.
How you doing? Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for the invite.
Wait a minute. We need to hear you. We need to hear what's going on. There we go.
Is that
She's
good?
a little tall. We gotta get this situated real quick. Okay, again, thank you for coming through.
Thanks for the invite.
I'm
happy to be here.
Thank you. I checked out some of your work on Instagram. Oh my gosh. I'm like, not only is she beautiful, but the things that she creates is fantastic. I'm like, damn, can you teach me a little something? And I want to put some of my art in the gallery. I mean, I'm not nowhere near as good as you at all, but I need your help.
What is good anyway?
You. So can you please tell us a little bit about yourself for us who do not know? Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Vanessa Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
I started painting. I think I've been painting for I always say 10 years, but I said that 3 years ago. So it's probably been 12 years now, 13 years. And I started pretty late. Most people, the first question you get is oh, did you do art as a child? Mm-hmm. And I started pretty late. It was off of a traumatic experience. And my dad passed away. My dad passed away.
Is it okay if I ask? Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm very vulnerable. I don't care. You can ask whatever you want.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I was coming out of a really bad breakup. Mm-hmm. So art was my thing.
At this point?
I was 19. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was 19.
Okay.
So that's when I started painting, and then I started to really take it serious. I went to college, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Right. I tried to do animation. They didn't accept me. What? So I was like, well, art it is. That's what I wanted to do anyway. I just need an excuse.
Right. I mean, that's crazy how it just takes a certain situation to put us to where we really are needing to be in life, Mm-hmm. Even if it's a good or bad situation, the fact that you're here and the fact that you're able to display something so beautiful that, for that to come out of what you went through, that's beautiful to me.
Yeah, I always say it was the worst thing and best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
I wouldn't be in this place. It really taught me to do what I love,
mm-hmm.
and because I saw how short life really is.
Right.
And the worst thing your parents could probably hear is I'm gonna be an artist, as far as your career.
It's okay. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Are you gonna be financially okay for the rest of your life?
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit of how it was growing up in LA for you.
Ooh, man. I'm from South Central LA. I grew up in the Crenshaw district.
Mm.
There, and also I went to school all of my life in the Crenshaw district.
Okay.
But I lived on Normandy and King, which is still South Central.
Right.
Very much so, but it's a little bit different. Every hood is different.
Oh.
So it was an adrenaline rush, honestly, and it was fun. I didn't know what life was outside of that. I didn't know that there wasn't a fight every day at every school. I thought it was normal. Every nutrition, every lunch, there was a fight.
That
was normal. It is, but it was fun.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
It was entertaining.
I'd be like, you got your camera? Get that. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow.
Right, man, it was fun though, and there's a lot of trauma that happens growing up in LA.
Yeah. Would you say that has a huge part in your art?
Yes, and there's different parts of my art too. I think
Let's describe that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, I think the female figures are more my internal struggles, epiphanies, experiences that I think as humans we all share at some point, whether it's about love or self-growth or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I have this other side where I do some digital stuff, that's more like a social, like about social issues. Like the first one was when Nipsey passed. I did a portrait with the halo around him. And I started doing this series called We All Deserve a Halo. And that's about like really depicting people from these places, marginalized communities, that don't really see themselves in that light often, you know, especially growing up there. So you don't really see, I mean, if you get a job and you can make ends meet, you're pretty much good, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of like really growing as a person, that's like, what is it called? That's like that's an advantage, you know. You don't really have that, like you're on survival mode all the time. Right. So that's my way of like depicting people and like allowing them to see their light. Is like the easiest way I can put it. Right. So it does have growing up in LA does show up in my work in some ways, but I think I'm more known for the female figures and the halo that I
mean, the movement is amazing. I love the fact that you're like, you know, you're representing women, but you're also representing something else that means so much to the world, especially nowadays. Like there's so many crazy things going on, and the fact that you're putting a light on that is absolutely amazing. So please, like you've mentioned, you grew up in the Crenshaw district, right? But I heard you went to USC.
I did.
Yeah. So like, how was that? Like the differences and did that really, going to USC and then experiencing things in the Crenshaw district, like that's two different vibes.
Two different worlds.
I already know it because I live down the
crazy.
street from USC, and it just took like that quick of a second to notice like how of a difference that you're in LA. Like it, you could just walk a block and you're in a whole different area.
It's literally a bubble. That's what everybody says.
Right?
It's a bubble.
Literally.
But yeah, it's crazy because I didn't even graduate. I went to Crenshaw High and I didn't even graduate because I failed one of my classes for not going to school. So that whole journey to going to USC is kind of crazy. When I talk to younger people, it's like I always tell them how everybody learns different. Right. I wasn't going to school because that shit was easy. And I just wanted to do my work, and I didn't want to waste my time going there for them to explain something that I already knew. So, but they failed me because I wasn't going to school. Oh, so then if they only knew where I was gonna go. So I always tell kids, like, don't let that define you, you know, because I had to go to night school to finish, and then I like, in between that's when all the traumatic stuff happened, and I had to figure my life out. When I went there, I was like really intimidated because I'm like, these kids are like from schools that are, you know, like top schools. It was hard to get in here for them, for me too, but I took a different route. So I had to really validate myself, and like just my self-esteem had to, like, you know, go up some levels because it was different.
I mean, you said you felt intimidated, right? Yeah. What did you do to overcome that, though?
I just realized that they weren't smarter than me. Like, when I really looked at it. Don't compare yourself. You know, you got this at the end of the day. What? I was like, you a who? Who are you? You a Vanessa. Right. I got it. I just had to realize, like, these kids really aren't smarter than me. I can do this too. Like, we're in the same place. Like, I'm here for a reason.
Right. No matter how you got here, I'm here.
Yeah. I was like the only person of color. Everybody was just different. The way they grew up was different. And even some of the people, man, this was a big epiphany. Even some people, the people of color there, grew up a whole different way. So there's like levels, you know, like there's a race, there's like honestly, economics.
I get that because I've met several people who are black from USC. I'm just like, different. No, like, you different. Like, I mean, I know I grew up in the Valley, like Southern California.
Because, so I really felt like an outsider. Like, I'm just different. Cause,
even out here, though, amongst my black people, I still feel different. I'm like, we'll be together, okay?
Right. Let's figure it out.
So can you please explain to me your creative process?
I'm just now recently like starting to really document it and really to talk, like I'm making this painting. It's called Love is Love. And I decided like, okay, on Instagram, I'm going to post like the entire process, and it's really helping me understand my own process. So usually what happens is I experience life, something happens, and then sometimes it's like a meditation, sometimes it just comes to me and I see this painting, this like pose or whatever, and then I have to understand what that means, but then sketch it out, figure out what colors I want to use, because I'm really big on color and how color affects us as humans, our psychology.
So like explain that.
So there's this whole thing called color psychology.
Right.
Different companies use it, artists use it. Like red.
I already know that.
Red can be red is the only color that is like on two sides of the spectrum. It can represent anger, depending on how you use it. It can represent love. But in like branding and stuff, red makes you hungry. So
McDonald's, I already know.
All of the logos. Just think about all of the food logos. Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Popeyes. They're all red. It makes you hungry. So it's like a whole color psychology thing. So I'm really into that.
See, I was going back and forth about like my logo coloration, and I was just like, maybe I should do red, because from what I know is that red is something that really like sticks out to the human brain.
Yeah.
And red and like yellow or something like that. So I was just like, should I do red? And I was just like, man, that's not better for Vermont. So I was like, man, I'm just do me. I don't know if I want to do red anymore. So I'm just switch it up.
The crazy thing is that we like know without knowing. Because I do this thing sometimes. I have a program called Artsy Kids that I started like 5 years ago, and we teach kids art. Wow. And when I teach color psychology, one of the things the activities that I do is like I make them like create something based on how they feel that day, and then everybody else in the class will guess without like looking up the color or anything.
Right.
Will guess what that emotion is, and most of the time, like most people are right.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just like ingrained in us as humans. That's why companies and stuff use it, and artists and all that. If you really know, like you can really use it to your advantage.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like a type of music that you listen to during the process?
I love Erykah Badu and Sade.
I was just listening to her. I was just what? I was so listen. I literally was listening to them this morning when I was getting ready, and I was like, dude, this is my girl. This is my
we're friends now.
Listen. Right? My girl, what you talking about?
Yeah.
When you come back.
For real, I love Erykah, Sade, Lauryn Hill.
Dude, what? Dude, this is crazy. Stop talking. I
and
literally was listening.
And her. Her is one of my new favorites.
Oh my, yes. Like she makes me like just like feel away. Like her vibes are really one thing. But like what she sings is just like, oh, it all comes together.
You can feel it.
Really. But this is like one of the reasons why I really love the fact that I'm here and I'm doing what I'm doing, because like not only am I getting to interview such amazing people, but I'm really able to like dive into the art, into like the process of things, and that's the part that really gets me. I'm just like, that's how you do it. That's why I'm like asking, okay, what kind of music do you listen to? What inspires
It's important.
You? It is, to me at least, but
it's so
I'm pretty sure everybody else feels the same way, but I'm just like, it really intrigues me.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you're able to produce such greatness, I just want to know what the process is so I can do the same thing. Because I'm like, the girl is talented. Wait, can you show me your Instagram just real quick?
Yeah.
Because I need everybody to know. I need you to tap in, ride with me for the rest of the interview. Please, honey.
It's VJ Rivera, but it's VJRIIVERA. That's the Instagram.
My love, Miss Vanessa, what can you say would be the highlight of your career?
Ooh.
Yes.
That's so hard. I mean,
there's so many.
I don't think I've gotten there yet. That's the
You don't
thing.
think so?
No, I don't think I'm not even halfway there, I feel like.
See,
but that's how we all probably feel.
Yeah, I could definitely relate. I'm like, man, I don't even know, but you have to take a step back and really look at how far you've come, because like me looking at you, like I was checking on your Instagram, I'm like, dude, this girl's dope. Like,
thank you.
Like I'm really honored to sit here and interview you, because I'm like, I want to have some of that. Can I have some of that? Girl,
take it.
But
well, I think recently because I've had a couple solo shows that I thought were very important to me. But recently I've had a piece go up in the Crenshaw district, which is where I've always wanted my art to be. And it's that series, We All Deserve a Halo. And it's all people of color with the halos. And that to me is like really special. No matter if I'm the only person that sees it there, this is where it started for me. It's on Vernon. It's on Crenshaw and Vernon. And it's along this like construction wall. They just put it up. Yeah, it's like it's right after Lamert Park, pretty much. And that is like really important to me, because those are the people that I want to see my work, especially that series. We All Deserve a Halo.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go take a picture and I'm gonna tag you with it.
Oh yeah. Please.
I'm 100% serious.
Please.
So did you ever encounter Nipsey?
Yeah, I met Nip a couple times.
I'm obsessed. He is a legend, and you're able to encounter that. Please elaborate.
I've known about Nip for a long time. I went to Crenshaw. He's a few years older than me. So I remember when he was selling his CDs on, just like hustling. And I remember when I heard Bullets Ain't Got No Name in the car when it was a mixtape. Like, my boyfriend at the time, like, just put it on, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
This is dope.
Yeah, and then later on, when he started to kind of blow up, I was going to SC. My friend put on this like thing where it was like an artist talk, and he came, and it wasn't even that many people in there. It was like 20 people. It's USC. It's a bunch of white kids there. And it's me. I'm like telling my best friend, like, come on, let's go.
Right, but so many white people are like really about the whole Black movement. So you would think that it would have been.
But he wasn't big back then. This is like 2012.
Oh.
Yeah, it was right before I got into USC. My best friend was already going there. So I was like, okay, we gotta go. So we went, and then I finally met him, like, for real. And he was like, oh, you go here? And I was like, she was like, you go here? And I was like, I'm about to. He was like, oh, that's dope. And he just signed my CD, and I was like,
what?
And I met him a few other times. Yeah.
Girl, is it framed? Because my stuff will be framed.
It's the one thing I'm keeping forever.
Oh,
okay?
That is amazing.
I love him. I met him a few other times because my friend is like also a rapper, and like they were close. So yeah, but everything he represents is like, yeah.
It's beyond me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like that impacts you in the way that you move, or just your art at times, like the marathon continues?
Yeah, so for sure. When I'm down, like, that's what I listen to. When I feel like I'm ready to give up, that's what I listen to. I'm like, motivation,
That's enough. She's like saying everything that I've been doing. Like, what is going on here? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's do this quick segment, because I want to know. Like, I'm from Compton, so like I seen Kendrick and everybody like that. But like, I want to know, like, what Nipsey is to LA. Like, why does that? Like, because I don't know. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want me to ask that?
Yeah. Like.
Okay. Because I mean, we can have the executive producer just we can we can put the camera on.
I always wanted to know somebody from LA. Like, what is there? Because I can't speak to that. He's from LA. Like, it's different. Like, what is that for you? Like, why does he embody LA? Like, that's the champion of LA. So
you hear that? You hear? What? Wait, okay. I don't think we could hear it. Can we hear it?
You don't have to hear me. I just want to know. Edit it in, but you can talk about that.
He's like, talk about it. Okay.
Talk about it.
Okay, I think it's crazy to me that everybody doesn't see what Nipsey is to LA, but I guess it is very centered, you know? Like, when you're really from LA, like, we grew up in the same neighborhood, so everything he's talking about is things that we've experienced. Like, he's just saying all of our experiences in a song, and everybody is listening to it. You know, it's like for him to go from like who he was as a gangbanger from Bullets Ain't Got No Name, if you listen to that, it's completely different than the Victory Lap. Yeah. The mindset is just so different. And I think it's just he's important to LA because we can relate. And everything he's saying is like it's real life to us. You know, it's just a fact. It's how, like I said earlier, I didn't know that other schools weren't like this, you know? When Nipsey speaks, it's like, oh yeah, that's my reality right there. Somebody's finally talking about it. Right. And
they put it in the song, and I'm over here grooving to it. So it just really makes you feel good. Like,
even the
like
way
I'm not alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone, and the mindset too. The mindset, like, you can really hear the evolution if you listen to everything he's made. You can hear the evolution from, like, he's somebody that grew up in the Crenshaw district as a black man. That's a different experience than I have, but I've seen it, you know, firsthand. And having to deal with everything in that environment, you can hear all of that, and then how he grows into being a grown man, a businessman, somebody that wants to better his community, somebody that realizes what the things he's done before, but also just everything in the environment, how it has affected his community, himself, everybody around him.
Right. He really put that into effect to make, like, better decisions even, and like, have life grow around him. Like, I don't even understand. This man was just beyond everybody. Like, I just really appreciate the person that he was to our community, like, in so many different ways. And it just kills me sometimes because, like, when he passed, and there was a lot of people who were like, oh no, I didn't know about him until now, and da-da-da. And I'm just like, but like, how could you not though? Like, he was really doing things, and it wasn't the fact that, like, I mean, he did his thing, he was in the game, whatever, but he really was trying to make the community a better place. And
I think that's the thing. That's why it hurt so bad, because everybody was rooting for him, because it was like, damn, we don't really see people go from that life to, like, evolving into this type of person that is trying to better our community. Not anything outside of us, but like right here.
That's the craziest thing though. Like, we literally lost our angel. And can you imagine what he had done? Like, girl, I was there all the time. I was like, man, I can't believe, like, are they even going to continue the work that he was doing? Because that whole strip is still closed down.
Still closed.
And I'm like, he was doing real good things. He was going to make the Section 8 top, to give back to
I don't know.
I don't know, but I really hope that everything continues on, because,
Marathon continues.
Come on with it.
It has to.
So, back to you though. Back to the song. I'm sorry, guys. Can you please tell us, what are you working on right now?
Ooh.
It's
I think this is like gonna be my favorite. Obviously, so far.
Okay.
Plenty more to go, but my next show is called Love Always.
And where is that?
Well, it's in process right now, so I'm still creating pieces.
As long as we get these, okay.
For sure.
Okay.
And it's gonna be. I'm hoping to have all of the pieces done by next year, but it's really just like I feel like in my art, I talk about a lot of things, about like self-growth and things like that, but I want to get real vulnerable. That's what art is about, right? And I think the one thing I don't really talk about, I'm not really vulnerable about, is love. And right now I feel like I'm in this journey of really understanding what love is. And the ebb and flow of like going through a heartbreak, and then just like everything you have to go through in order to heal from that, and to be able to open up.
That is real.
Yeah.
Oh,
and there's so many stages in that.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'm talking. I'll let you have the spotlight on this.
Yeah. So it's really about that. Like I have a piece. What is that one called? It's called A Dedication to Love. It's one of my favorites. And it's just like, that one's already out. It's been out. I didn't even know it was going to be a part of this series, but you know, sometimes things happen. You don't even know that it's in process. Hey. It's like this woman just kind of floating with these flowers coming out of her chest. And there's 5 flowers. 4 of them are wilting, and there's one that's still like blooming. So it's like still having a hope for that love. And the other 4 represent 4 relationships that I've been in that are like, they're dead.
So it's really...
They're gone. It's over.
But okay, I love it. I get it, and I see how you've made this personal. Because I was gonna ask like why the specific numbers, big girl. Okay.
The 5th one is like.
So we still out here. We still hoping.
The 5th one is it. Okay.
Girl.
The 5th one is
the way that
one.
God works. this.
Yeah.
No, you go. This girl is amazing. Her energy, her aura is just.
Oh, thank you.
No,
that is
really.
The best compliment.
No, I feel like nowadays, as queens, we don't really give each other that. And I'm very so much for just making sure that we put ourselves first, because there's just too much of us like tearing each other down to get to where we need to be, and that's not even the case. Like that shouldn't even be the case.
What's yours is yours. I can't take that from you.
Like you got your lane, I got mine.
Yeah.
But let's just sit here and amplify each other. At the end of the day, she's beautiful. So am I.
Yes, you are. Yes, you. No, you shouldn't. You are.
I got a little big hair sometimes. But no, in all serious, like I really love what you're doing.
Thank you.
The thing is, like, this is why I have so much respect for her and what she's doing, because, like, you already mentioned, what you're doing is, amplifying the respect for us women. And then on top of that, you're doing other projects to just let us and everybody else know that you're in tune with what's going on in our world today. So your art reflects on that. And like I said, that's why I really love dissecting into the artist's brain, because I'm just like, okay, what's your creative process? Like, how do you take things on life and then apply it to art, so that way when you display it, we could really sit there and we can dissect it and feel it with you. That's the main thing. Like nowadays, before I was just like, oh, okay, art's cool, I get it, it's beautiful, whatever. But now I'm just like, now being around you creatives, it's just like, I take it a whole entire different way. I have a huge respect on it. And I just like, I'm really honored, honestly, like every single time. It's just a blessing to get to sit there and dissect your mind.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like I'm starting to really realize that it's not even art for me is a way to not only just tap into myself, but like tap into God. Because when I meditate, that's what it's a prayer first when I start, and then to me it's like,
you didn't say that before. Come on, I want to get the full experience. Can you tell me how it goes?
I mean, I always say prayer is you talking to God, and meditation is you listening. So my prayer is to be able to listen, and that's how my paintings come to me. But it's like a message, you know, it's like a prophecy for me. When I paint stuff, sometimes I don't even know what the painting is about until I'm done.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't even like manifest, the experience doesn't manifest until after I'm done.
Right.
So it's like, for me, it's really a spiritual experience. It's just my way to tap in. It's not even really me, you know? It's different for everybody. You know, some people it's like really self-care. They have to let stuff out. For me, it's spiritual. And that's why I think sometimes, because I ride that line, some people might not connect to it, but that's fine, you know?
Right, yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah.
It's for you at the end of the day.
That part.
Come on now. Can you please tell me a few of your favorite galleries?
Favorite galleries?
Yes. I put the pressure because Nana Tutu better come up on you.
Honestly, this gallery is my favorite right now. I'm not like
guessing on. I mean, it's mine, but
look, I got to speak to you. I've never had this type of interaction with another woman as an interview. Yeah, usually it's men interviewing me. I don't know why it's just been like that so far. But also, I just talked to David for a minute about his whole vision for this gallery, and I'm like, this is so aligned, and I love this. And I haven't met anyone that has the same vision. My other one would be, it was Gallery 38. I don't think they're up right now. But it was also ran by this guy named Badir, who's a black man, and it's kind of, you know, like similar energy. So I love that gallery. But other than that, honestly, I don't really have too many like favorite galleries.
Yeah, I mean, so would you say your favorite galleries are what I'm picking up, which you're putting down? They're black owned.
That's just what it's like right now. I think it's because there's like an understanding, you know? It's like an instant connection almost, I think. And purpose too.
It's like home a little bit.
Yeah. Because I haven't had much luck with the other galleries.
Really?
You know?
Girl, you got all the love and the luck here, so don't look any further. But please, my love, tell us, how can we follow you? Because, you know, we gotta blast you.
Okay, so I'm only really on Instagram. And I have my website, so I'll give you guys that too. The Instagram is VJRIIVERA. VJ Rivera with 2 I's.
Follow my baby girl.
The website is vjrivera.com. VJRIVERA.com. And that's on my Instagram. So if you just follow the Instagram, you'll get where you need to go.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming through. Like, she is such a gem. And I really appreciate, but I want to sit there and I want to watch you.
Yeah, you got to come through the studio.
I have to. We're going to bring the whole crew. We're going to sit there and watch you. No pressure, just do your thing.
I'm good, you know?
Oh my gosh. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is your girl, Kayla Shay. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us at the Red Dot Series on Instagram. It is your girl, Kayla Shay. And make sure you follow Y at KAAYASHAY. Thank you so much. You guys, we wrapped it up on another episode. We got our growth, we got the vibes, we got everything. Make sure you tune in for next week or the next show. Toodles.
Bye.
Hey.